One tweet. That's all it took. What started as a gentle PSA turned into the ugliest celebrity meltdown of the year: custody threats, brand cancellations, and a missing baby. This isn't drama anymore. It's a public crisis unraveling in real time. Buckle up, because by the end of this story, you won't know who to protect or who to fear. What began as a calm, well-meaning PSA spiraled into a full-blown viral meltdown when Kehlani tweeted a single sentence that rippled through the internet like a slow-burning fuse. Focus on the child, not the chaos. While the words didn't name names, the timing was unmistakable. To fans and followers alike, it was a pointed reference to Chrisean Rock's ongoing CPS battle. And for Chrisean, already deep in the throes of public scrutiny, legal entanglements, and emotional exhaustion, it felt like a betrayal disguised as advice. Almost immediately, she took to Instagram Live, her voice trembling not with fear but fury. She didn't hold back. She dragged Kehlani's lifestyle, her candles, her crystals, her self-care routines, her minimalist apartment that Chrisean referred to as a two-bedroom condo with silence and staged serenity. She mocked Kehlani's spiritual practices, her curated image, and what she called her Pinterest parenting. Fans watched in real time as the unspoken tension that had long existed between these two women finally boiled over. But to understand how things got here, you'd have to rewind to a 2022 panel discussion that never aired, one where Chrisean, visibly skeptical, challenged Kehlani's depiction of motherhood as balanced, beautiful, and bathed in sunlight. Chrisean asked, point blank, whether Kehlani's story was authentic or just another filtered illusion. Kehlani, caught off guard, offered a calm response about intention and honesty, but the moment planted a seed. The panel footage was never released, but those who were there say that afterward, Kehlani posted a cryptic message. Some people fight peace because they don't recognize it without pain. That tweet was subtle, yet stung just enough to signal a quiet, ongoing divide. So when Kehlani, months later, posted her now infamous line, Chrisean saw red. But before the IG Live erupted, there was a private moment. According to people close to the situation, Chrisean sent Kehlani a direct message, short, raw, and emotional. It read, "You could have just called me." She was asking for a private sisterhood moment, a chance to address pain offstage. But the message was met with silence, and in that silence, Chrisean felt dismissed, exposed, and judged. What happened next felt inevitable. The IG Live was volcanic. She didn't just attack Kehlani's lifestyle, she questioned her credibility, her compassion, and her intentions. She accused her of capitalizing off peace while shaming mothers who parent through storms. She didn't mince words. You think peace makes you better than me? You ever try keeping peace with a baby in one arm, CPS on the phone, and the internet screaming you're unfit? As Chrisean cried, shouted, and ranted, thousands watched, screens glowing, comments flying. Meanwhile, Kehlani said nothing. No tweet, no post, no rebuttal. Her only digital movement was archiving a string of family photos, quiet, symbolic, and almost eerie in its timing. But her silence wasn't total. Kehlani's longtime stylist, Nani Love, took 2 Instagram stories with a razor-sharp subtweet. She stayed barking loud for someone who cried over a broken nail. It was veiled, but barely. Everyone knew it was aimed at Chrisean, and everyone also knew that it escalated what was already a digital wildfire. Suddenly, fans were taking sides. Some saw Chrisean as raw, real, and relatable, a woman trying to mother through unimaginable pressure while being publicly dissected. They empathized with her rage, her exhaustion, her desperation. They said Kehlani's tweet, no matter how gently worded, was passive-aggressive judgment masquerading as wisdom. Others praised Kehlani for taking the high road, saying her silence was strength, her focus on peace, a model for emotional maturity. They said Chrisean lashed out, not because she was attacked, but because she was triggered by the truth. The divide split social media wide open. On TikTok, creators debated whether motherhood is being co-opted by aesthetics rather than lived experience. On Twitter, the quote was reposted alongside photos of exhausted single moms, captions reading, "You don't know chaos until you've lived it." On Reddit, threads exploded with theories about deeper beef, unspoken history, and whether either of them was ever really genuine. But beneath all the noise was something more heartbreaking. Collective recognition that parenting in the spotlight can fracture even the strongest spirits. The reality is, both Kehlani and Chrisean are trying to raise children while standing on digital stages where every move is recorded, replayed, and judged. Kehlani chooses silence. Chrisean chooses sound. And both of them, in their own ways, are choosing survival. The CPS situation is not just a scandal or a headline, it's a crisis. One rooted in real fears about safety, custody, and mental health. Chrisean's anger wasn't just about the tweet, it was about feeling misunderstood, about fighting battles off camera while being attacked on camera, about trying to protect her child and her peace in a world where both are constantly threatened. Kehlani, on the other hand, believes in quiet leadership, in posting less and listening more, in offering guidance without drama. But her refusal to engage left many wondering, was it grace, or was it emotional distancing? And what responsibility do influencers have to each other when the stakes are this high? As the feud simmered, mental health experts chimed in, warning that this wasn't just drama, it was a mirror. A reflection of how social media can amplify hurt, how tweets can wound, and how motherhood becomes performative when everyone is watching. Parenting experts debated the ethics of online criticism, arguing that even well-intentioned advice can feel like condemnation when someone is already drowning. And behind closed doors, mutual friends reportedly tried to mediate, to bridge the silence with phone calls and texts. So far, there's been no public reconciliation, no apology, just two mothers, two approaches, and one shared spotlight. The internet, as always, has moved on to other fires. But for Kehlani and Chrisean, the fallout lingers. Every post is now dissected for tone. Every caption is a potential trigger. Every silence is interpreted as shade. And while fans keep asking, who was right? The real question is more complicated. Can we make space for mothers to be both messy and healing, raw and wise, broken and still beautiful? Or are we so addicted to performance that we forget these women are human beings first? What started as a single tweet has become a digital case study in how fast compassion can curdle into critique, and how sometimes, even with the best intentions, a message meant to uplift can spark a fire that burns more than it builds. What began as a tweet about mindful motherhood has spiraled into a chaotic, emotional battle with Chrisean Rock at the center, loud, unfiltered, and unraveling in real time. After Kehlani's subtle PSA was read as a dig, Chrisean launched back with personal insults, mocking Kehlani's lifestyle and dragging her home life. While Kehlani remained silent, her stylist fired shots, and a leaked DM from Chrisean revealed she'd privately asked Kehlani to call her only to be ignored. That silence turned into fury, with Chrisean firing off another intense IG live, ranting about custody, flashing a CPS document, and threatening to expose the Pinterest-perfect elite if pushed further. Rumors swirled she held receipts on A-list names who confided in her, and Kehlani, hurt and distancing herself, unfollowed Chrisean entirely. Then Rihanna dropped a cryptic but piercing Instagram comment, igniting the internet and pushing the narrative even further from Chrisean's favor. As public support wavered, a supposed group chat leak showed Kehlani and her inner circle expressing deep concern for Chrisean's son, with Kehlani reportedly saying, "I tried, I'm done." Though unconfirmed, the screenshots shifted public sentiment fast. Chrisean, feeling cornered, snapped again on live, shaking, crying, screaming, even holding up a pill bottle and saying, "Y'all want a villain?" Bet that clip now allegedly sits in the hands of CPS and legal authorities. Kehlani canceled an appearance amid harassment fallout, and fans began questioning if Chrisean had crossed a line she couldn't walk back from. Then the final twist. Hit Blueface's sister posted a blurry photo holding Junior with the chilling caption, "Whatever happens, he'll be safe. Mark my words." Now the internet's asking, was the baby removed? Did CPS act silently? Chrisean tried to silence the noise, but it seems the noise is speaking louder than ever, and it might just cost her everything. The chaos swirling around Chrisean Rock has officially crossed the line from dramatic to deeply alarming. At first, many dismissed it as a messy, celebrity-level meltdown, her emotional breakdowns during Instagram lives, Rihanna's subtle but pointed tweet, the leaked group chat from the inner circle. But now we're staring at a much darker scenario, with both professional and personal consequences cascading in real. The situation has swiftly deteriorated beyond the realm of entertainment and clout. What we once considered public drama now feels dangerously close to child welfare crisis territory. It all escalated in a matter of days. First came the shockwave. Glow Culture Cosmetics, a major beauty brand poised to release a six-figure collaboration with Chrisean, pulled the plug out of nowhere. According to their statement, they couldn't move forward with a partnership that didn't align with their values that included mental well-being and the safety of families. That news hit like a bombshell. Just weeks ago, Chrisean was being celebrated as a rising voice in beauty. A new voice romper stomping the gatekeeper walls of the industry. Now, she found herself left empty-handed and publicly more makeup tutorials with her signature energy. No more sponsored loyalty. No more brand-backed hype. Suddenly, it was glaringly obvious, corporate brands and their PR departments wouldn't risk association with unfiltered drama when a child was involved. A collaboration that was once the talk of influencer marketing simply vanished. That abandonment didn't stop there. One by one, high-profile celebrities started severing digital ties wherever they could. Unfollows from Summer Walker, JT, and Lil Baby came quick and quiet. No statements, no drama, just the silence of a feed no longer bearing her name. To observers, it looked a lot like people planting their flag on the moral high ground, stepping away the moment the optics turned messy. But for Chrisean, who built her persona partly on industry friendships and cassons, it was a blow that shook the foundation of her public support. Her associations, once shining a bright light, now seemed to turn her into an industry pariah. Meanwhile, fans and critics alike reacted online with a mix of confusion, concern, and outrage. Viral TikToks emerged, documenting her unraveling in real time, from disturbing IG lives where she screamed with desperation, to footage of her nervous and defensive around her phone camera. People were beginning to see her baby, Junior, not as a part of her glossy brand image but as a child possibly in danger, a baby caught in the crossfire of mental instability and unchecked behavior. The concern snowballed. Dozens of petitions asking for CPS to step in went viral, platforms pressuring agencies to place strict safeguards or remove children from live streaming unless serious boundaries are enforced. Daytime TV hosts like Tamron Hall and Amanda Seales began devoting entire segments to the story. Their tone wasn't pity or mockery, it was urgent, practical concern. These aren't celebrity feuds, they said, it's a breakdown playing out in real time, and a child might be paying the price. But the moment that truly shattered whatever denial was left came in the form of a 15-second parking lot video. Picture Chrisean, her hair disheveled, her energy manic, yelling at someone off camera while she clutches Junior in one arm. She's rambling, her eyes wild, and suddenly someone in the background screams in horror, "The baby's head." And just like that, the video went viral, played, replayed, cut into endless clips, shared on forums, and forwarded to CPs and child welfare advocates. That single clip changed the tone of the conversation. This was no longer about views or sympathy, it was about evidence of risk. CPS has been officially silent, citing privacy protocols and saying nothing publicly, but the rumors became impossible to ignore. Rumor whispered of emergency guardianship talks, the possibility of the state stepping in, of someone, maybe a grandmother, maybe a family member, having to petition for temporary custody. And all the while, Chrisean's once thriving inner circle was unraveling around her. Allies she assumed would shield her were instead whispering doubt to journalists and sounding alarm bell hashtags under their own names. In such an environment, trust became both currency and camouflage, and no one wanted to be seen too close to the unfolding drama. Then, the most chilling moment came when her closest friend Guju, someone who had been in Chrisean's corner since day one, released a heartbreaking audio confession. In a trembling voice, Guju admitted she'd hit a breaking point. She said she couldn't cover for Chrisean anymore. There were too many red flags. Too many nights when Junior was allegedly left alone for hours. Too much emotional abandonment while his mother livestreamed her breakdowns. And in the moments that followed, she dropped the words everyone's been hearing in whispers for days. "I don't know where the baby is right now." That pause, more than any tweet, more than any clip, echoed like a void, fueling sheer panic across social media. Because what Guju said was more than a rumor, it was an admission. There was no filter, just an unfriended friend admitting she lost track of a baby in real time. On Twitter, parents and legal observers debated custody laws. On Instagram, supporters and watchers descended into comments, citing every rule CPS could invoke: emergency, removal, psychological harm, lack of basic supervision. They cross-shared articles citing precedent cases where babies were removed after just one dangerous public moment. They asked, if it happened in your neighborhood, would you call the police? And they answered themselves. News outlets scrambled to get statements from Chrisean's legal team. There were none. Her representatives issued the bare minimum. The case is ongoing. CPS is involved, and we are cooperating. The statement sounded more like damage control than a defense. Meanwhile, her remaining social posts had a tone of defiance, her signature message about powerful womanhood and never backing down, but the underlying fragility was there. Soft as the children she once showcased with pride. Senior sources within CPS, speaking anonymously, told reporters that what they received through those viral clips and Guju's confession could be cause for an emergency evaluation. That normally takes days or weeks, even hours, if it seems urgent. There's also the possibility an external guardian is on standby. A woman cleared by the state to take temporary custody while the mess is sorted out. The prospect of it happening fast enough that a child might be removed from his mother's care looms large in public conversation, shifting perceptions of online parenting forever. If there's one thing we're all watching, it's this: will help arrive before tragedy? And even if it does, can the fallout be undone? How do you rebuild trust after a video says the baby's head? How do you shelter a child in the age of public scrutiny and clout? What does privacy look like when your life lives in the highlight reel? Chrisean now stands on a precipice. Her career, once building on edgy authenticity, risks collapsing under the weight of neglect accusations. Her network of celebrity allies is shrinking behind business logic and moral sway. Even her creative brand, once defined by emotional intensity, has been petered out by those same emotions. And the child, tiny, voiceless, has become the focal point of international concern. The story is no longer about viral fame or public virtue. It's a crisis that demands action, and in a matter of hours, decisions will be made that won't be reversed by an apology or a comeback post. This isn't a scandal, it's reality. And Junior's story is still being written. But right now, we're all paying attention to one question: where is Junior? Stay tuned, because whatever happens next won't play out on screens. It'll be fought over in courtrooms and judged in emergency custody hearings. And the internet will remember exactly where we were when a baby's safety was questioned by millions. The situation surrounding Chrisean Rock has shifted from viral spectacle to urgent crisis. And now the stakes are soaring higher than ever before, with a series of public meltdowns, Rihanna's cryptic but ominous message, and a chilling leak from her closest friend. Fans are being forced to ask the heart-wrenching question that's been echoing in whispers and social feeds alike: where is Junior? Social media has turned into a pressure cooker of speculation and concern. Chrisean's once fervent supporters are quieting down, brands are retreating, and the online strain to see the baby isn't just about clicks, it's a desperate plea for assurance that a child is truly safe. Sources close to the action now confirm that Child Protective Services has taken a step more serious than a background check or conversation. TMZ reports that an emergency custody hearing has been scheduled, requiring Chrisean to appear in court within 48 hours. She must now prove her household is stable, that she is cooperating with CPS, and most importantly, that Junior is living in safety and normalcy, not chaos and violation. But in a twist that feels scarier than fiction, nobody has seen him. Not in her Instagram story, not in an IG live, not even in carefully timed snapshots. The child, who once appeared constantly on her feed, is now as invisible as the peace in his mother's life. As the internet races to fill the gaps, cryptic social media teases are pouring in from key voices close to Chrisean. Kehlani posted a haunting line: "The universe protects the innocent," as though blessing a soul without naming it, and fans instantly tied it to Junior. Tia Kemp, never one for subtlety, wrote, "I warned y'all. This ends in flashing lights." No context, no smiley face emoji, just a stark warning that felt more like a final, angry bell than a piece of advice. Each post is like a match, striking in dry grass, escalating the growing fire of public fear. Meanwhile, petitions have emerged, not just begging for updates, but demanding accountability. Show the Baby is trending on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, alongside hashtags like #WhereIsJunior and #MomStabilityNow. A crusade has launched, not for gossip, but for a child's right to safety and peace. Journalists are digging into Chrisean's apartment history. Neighbors are getting phone calls. Lawyers are weighing in on public forums. And the vibe has shifted from scandal to a question of actual well-being. This is no longer entertainment. It's real-life stakes. Even brands that once flocked to partner with Chrisean, her edgy aesthetic, her viral energy, her Gen Z pull, are stepping back. The financial indicator is stark. Deals paused, scripts dropped, media spots rescinded. That's the exit of institutional support, not just personal. It means the machine is recognizing a deeper risk. A career hit, maybe, but a child's life. That's a line too dire to cross. What's left is the cruelest question of all. Is Chrisean actually spiraling, or is she being misunderstood and overexposed in a world that's quick to judge? Some heartfelt supporters have posted videos of her being tender with Junior months ago, showing glimpses of the mother she can be. But those memories are drowned out by fresh outbursts, veiled threats, and a void where her son used to be. The contrast is painfully stark. Even Rihanna's comment, a soft but unmistakable push towards self-focus, has been interpreted not as shade, but as a motherly wake-up call from someone with real instincts for protection and privacy. Ultimately, this isn't about clout anymore, it's about custody. It's about chaos. And yes, the court countdown is ticking. Judges and lawyers don't wait on Instagram, they act on affidavits, testimonies, and evidence. If public concern had ever been theater, it's not anymore. If Junior is in the dark, the law can spotlight reality and take action. So here's the sobering truth. If you were the judge, would you intervene, now or wait for concrete proof of normalcy? Would you prioritize momentum and act swiftly to safeguard a potentially endangered child? Or would you trust in the legal system's slower wheel, giving a mother a chance to show she can nurture and protect? It's a question now gripping everyone from lawyers to influencers, strangers to journalists, and family members. This isn't about alliances or tempers, it's about discovering the truth behind closed doors and ensuring a child's best interests. Drop your take. We want to hear what you think. And don't just scroll past, hit subscribe, because the countdown isn't just on social media. It's ticking in the real world, and every second counts now. Stay in the comments. This isn't over.